The seventh lesson is connected with a new way of calculating things in a pivot table. Let's insert a first pivot table and show at the example what we mean by that. Let's create a sum of sales by region, and our task within this exercise is to calculate the percentage share of each region's sales in the total sales. So in general, I would like to analyze what is the value of the central sales compared to the grand total. And this is the challenge we need to face, and there are of course many ways how you can do it. For example, without creating any calculation, without changing anything, there is one trick with a pie chart, and because we already saw charts, we can introduce more and more interesting thing about charts. If you turn on the data labels, you can format the data labels for the pie chart in a way that they will not only show the value but also the percentage, or maybe even percentage instead of value you have. And when you sort the data in a pivot table, you will easily create the desired layout. But this is not what we want to achieve in this exercise. We would like to get these calculations inside the pivot tables. And there is one easy way how you can do it. You just right click the first value of the cell, for example sum of sales for the central region, right click, show values as, and then you've got plenty of options that we will discover, like the first one, which is very popular, percentage of grand total. Grand total is the total sum we see on the bottom of the table, and the percentage of grand total will indicate what is the percentage value, the share for each of the regions. We can format the numbers then, because right now we've got the percentage formatting to just keep one decimal place. And we need to know also that there is the second place where you can change this kind of setting, this kind of show values as. You can do it also in the value field settings on a values shelf, where instead of summarize values by, you can pick show values as and choose whatever you want. But these are exactly the same choices we have in a pivot table. How to understand the behavior of a pivot table? What will happen if I will remove the East region in here? When working with this kind of calculations, you always need to think of the rows of our source data table that are currently in the so-called filter context of a pivot table. So if I will turn off the East, you will see that we still have grand total on the bottom of the table, and now we calculate the percentages, but for all of the sales without the East region. So always think in terms of the rows that are available below the data you have.